Good afternoon, good evening, good day. I am bathing my hand because my hand got yanked by dogs again on my dog hike, so I'm using the well-used Jill and Joan CBD. Yes.
Guess who says hi?
Leslie Williams.
Yes, hi Leslie.
Good morning, Leslie. Good, yes.
I'm going to back
England.
up so I'm not loud on the mic.
Okay. I thought maybe it was my breath.
No.
I haven't had any coffee yet. Just brushed my teeth.
Shannon says hi, ladies. Shannon Myers, hi Shannon.
Okay, I'm stepping out of screen because I need my table closer for my coffee. Okay.
Happy Valentine's Day, Shannon.
Oh yeah, happy Valentine's Day.
Craig Walker says hi all. Happy Valentine's Day. Hi Craig.
Hi Craig. Happy Valentine's Day.
Daniela Van Amsterdam says hello, beautiful ladies. Hello, Daniela. And happy Valentine.
And happy Valentine. I think I made rocket fuel.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from that.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'll run home and back before the end of the live.
It's not going down. It's hot. Hot.
That was very hot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Thank you. So,
Craig Walker says, am I now officially a lady?
Hello, ladies. Yes. No, you're a dude. You're definitely a guy, and it's refreshing to have a guy. Here, we have guys. We have guys, and thankfully, good guys like you. Okay, so, anyone else?
Cynthia Stewart is on. Hi, Cynthia.
Hi, Cynthia.
She says, happy Valentine's Day,
Happy
ladies.
Valentine's Day.
Joyce Lee Leggett says, hi. And Shannon Meyer says, a cool dude.
A cool dude, yes. Oh my god, this is so hot.
I know. I didn't mind burning my hand because I'm cold.
I know, I'm freezing.
Yeah.
It is, you should have seen, it was so, when I went out on my hike, you
Just
couldn't
fog.
see anything.
Yeah. It was like that on my drive down.
Yeah. Yep. So, of course, all the dogs are passed out. And I guess I should introduce myself. It seems like everybody here knows me. But if you're new to me, my name is Joan Ranquet. I'm an animal communicator, energy healer, author, TEDx speaker, and founder of Communication with All Life University. And we have programs for people to learn animal communication or energy healing, or become an animal communicator and or an energy healer. I can't talk this morning. Oh my god. Anyway, an energy healer. And we have nature and wildlife programs and trips and books. We have a book coming out. I'm getting endorsements in, so it's very, very, very exciting. We have all sorts of things coming up. We have the Death, Dying, and Beyond virtual retreat, which is not this weekend, but the next
The 24th.
weekend. The 24th.
24th and 25th.
And it's really, it's a weird thing to say that, you know, it's fun, but it's fun. We have, then on March 1st, we have Animals in Transition Fundamentals. So we just did Animals in Transition, where it was a 10-week course of talking to animals that have crossed over. It was very, very powerful. I know that people learned a lot and really got great at it, right? Was that a good class?
It was a great class.
You taught it.
Shannon taught it.
Oh, I thought you taught some.
Shannon taught Animals in Transition.
Shannon, was it a good class? I taught.
You taught.
I taught twice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Now you have all these classes with all these teachers, so I teach AC Level 4.
There's so much going on. I'm going to talk about AC Level 4 in a moment. And I have a Cynthia Stewart tie-in with that too. But anyway, yeah, so that was a great class. But this Animals in Transition Fundamentals is Claudia's in heaven because she just got to pet Queen Latifah. And if you've been here, you'll know that that's like,
I wasn't even thinking when I did it. Just
I know, it's kind of like winning the Olympic medal for something. Anyway, it's not an easy task, is what I'm saying. So anyway, Animals in Transition Fundamentals is a class that will be, is it 10 weeks long?
10 weeks long, 10 lessons.
10 lessons.
Because we
And-
have breaks.
Yeah, we have some breaks and homework. And I'm teaching a lot of it, and Claudia's teaching some, and Shannon's teaching some. And this is really Shannon's department, the Animals in Transition, and we have really nailed down what the certification program for that is. So that is very, very, very exciting. And in the fundamentals class, we're really going to go through. The fundamentals class is something you could take even if you haven't taken a single animal communication class. You'll get a bonus of something. Talk to that. There's some bonuses. So you'll have an opportunity to communicate with animals before you get into the first class. So if you've never taken a class and you have your own animal that's, you know, maybe older or nearing the end, we've got a lot of tools in there and ways to, unique ways to memorialize and be with your animal there in a really profound way at the end. And then we've got tapping for grief and trauma. We've got some new scripts that aren't in the energy healing for animals, and we've got we're doing specialized scalar wave energy for the death and dying process or to support the family members. We've got tapping to support the family members. We talk about repackaging. It's a whole thing, and it's you know, Shannon's much better at going da 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 da. I'm like, oh my God, and 19 exclamation points. You've got to do it. It'll be fun. So that's why Shannon.
Well, she said Animals in Transition, the first one was amazing.
It was.
Yeah.
That I know because everybody talked about it, and a lot of people that were in that class, I think, were on the trip in Kenya with me, and they, yeah. So then what else? We've got spring intensive. It's not too early to start thinking about the spring intensive. And that's animal communication, 3 days. 3 days of EFT and 3 days of animal communication in sanctuaries. And again, I'm all caps and all exclamation points. I think everybody should be here for that. You can do it remotely or in person. And yeah, so there's all kinds of ways to do it. You could do it for 3 days, you could do it for 6 days, you could do it for 9 days. And we have
Acupressure.
oh my God, acupressure in person, March 12th.
Looking.
And then
March 10th, 11th, and
that is fun because it's me and Jill teaching together, and we are not always, can't always be in the same state, and we have a lot of fun when we teach. And I love helping her with that because I got certified in acupressure in the 90s and then used it, and there's kind of not a day I don't use it. And it also is it's a tool that, you know, I was just talking to Shannon about how that really should be part of the death and dying, the animals in transition. It should be the chosen elective, any of our acupressure classes, because what we're going to do in the live class is we do kind of the basics, and then Jill goes over her kind of favorite points, and I go over my favorite points, which are based on, before my dog even got old, I created 6 points, 5 or 6 points for the older dog, you know, my favorites, took pictures of them, and this is back in early 2000s, and whenever somebody had an older dog, I always just forwarded those pictures along with a little instruction. And so, you know, we're going to go over my 5 favorite points in that class. And so that's, you know, that's the sort of thing that adds value to somebody. Even though, you know, if you know your animal's going to die, how do we, you know, often it's how do we make them comfortable? So that's the value of a lot of these classes that we're adding into and around and making as electives for that certification.
Shannon just wrote in, this upcoming Animals in Transition Fundamentals live class is going to be so important and packed with information to help you with your own animals or your clients' animals. All the tools to help you from midwife to mediumship. This class starts March 1st and it's at a really discounted price this first time only. It's an introductory price, so I would get on it. And she says just to email her with any questions at info@joanranquet.com.
I wish that I'd had that class, right?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? That
Yeah.
would have been like, I can't.
I make up things that I just want to do, or
That you wish
somebody-
were around for you.
Yeah, which is cool because we're starting to put together. Maybe we might be teaching in a college, maybe. We have lots of news that we're going to be rolling out in the next few months.
I would like to add also that, you know, you said you pretty much use it almost every day. I've seen you use acupressure every single day.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't think you're even aware that you do it sometimes.
I know. I come up, that's how I touch a cat. Like, I just check into their bladder 10, right?
Yeah,
and
like you were doing it with Anya when we had her on the TheraPlate. You were doing it with, and Anya's not, you know, she's fine. It's just you work on them all the time with acupressure.
Yeah, I love to, you know, I'll pet dogs, but I'm also always like, my hands go to work.
Yeah.
Between the T-touch and all the things that I got trained to do. You know, my old business cards used to say animal communication, body and energy work. So that was on my card, and that was a way that I would come back for more appointments with clients. You know, in a funny way, it was between body work or the energy work. It kept me employed. It kept me going.
Catherine Myers-Miller wants to know if this acupressure workshop is available in person only, or could I attend online?
This one is only in person. Come on down. We would love to have you, but it's only in person, and we've got, so right now they're in the intro class, and then the next class will be 5 elements, as far as the online classes go. And then, what else? There's more. Oh, I wanted to talk about the ambassadorship, the animal ambassador program, because that's another thing, like the Animals in Transition little certification. So I'm just going to say what we've got for the first class.
Go ahead.
So we have this Animal Communication Level 4, and it's Level 4A is rescues and shelters, and that'll start again in the fall. B is sanctuaries. So they did all sorts of sanctuaries, right?
All over the nation. We
did,
and
in the
farm sanctuaries.
Yeah, and so the series starts all over again in the fall. I mean, if you're in the program and you get your free class, you can take any one, but it's limited because it's a very intimate group, and you have to pretty much promise you're not going to miss a class. So the first one is rescues and shelters, and they did amazing work, like literally saved lives. The animals that were going to be put down are now adopted. I know, it makes me want to cry. The sanctuary work, you know, they lost an animal or two, but at least the people found out why. The wildlife class, so
was
AC, the third one is wildlife in shelters and wildlife rehab centers. And how was that?
It was crazy powerful. We connected with river otter, which I still can't get over that one. An owl. I mean, I'm drawing a blank right now, but we got to connect with some pretty incredible animals, and it was, yeah. I can't wait for this one that's coming up too.
Yeah, and we do a little bit of that. I mean, we do that in the spring intensive, so you'll get a taste of that.
Tortoise. We did a tortoise.
Yeah. So I'm helping to line up the professional animal thing, and I just I can't resist. My friend posted yesterday, so I bought this place from an old friend that I boarded horses with. I mean, literally since the '80s. We were when I lived in LA, the '80s and '90s. She knew Gabrielle back then. She knew my horse Pet One, Pony Boy, and so she lives over there, and her husband is the head trainer over there for animals in movies. And they've got some animals at the ranch, but they've got a bunch that live at home, and she is always posting her poodles. Well, she posted this thing. Her poodle was in the Super Bowl commercial for the Doritos, the triangle. She had shown me the ad a few days ago because she was over here, and I just got a wild hair last night when I saw her post on Facebook. I was trying to write all this stuff and I was being serious, but I was like, oh, we should start the class with that poodle. And I wrote to her, and she's so excited because she watched me as I went from actress, screenwriter to animal community. She literally saw the whole transition of my career into this. So anyway, we're starting with the poodle. But then she sent me all these other pictures, but I'm not going to say anything about what else that poodle's done, because the people that are in that class. Yeah, so it's some heavy hitters that poodle's acted with.
And the thing about this class that we're starting with the poodle.
It's a professional animal, so that means
guide dogs,
therapeutic riding horses.
We've
got some dogs, show dogs lined up. We've got some search and rescue dogs. We've got 2 search and rescue dogs that are having these people are having challenges. So with these situations, there may or may not be a challenge with the poodle. That might just be my own, like, let's start it off with a bang.
But it's the reason I'm excited about this class, besides, the poodle, is a lot of these animals, one thing I've learned being in this program is animals love their jobs. They are very proud of
They're dedicated.
They're very dedicated, and sometimes, it's like people. They have something and we don't understand why they're not performing like they used to or whatever, so we're able to help them fulfill what they want to do. This isn't about the person wanting their dog or horse or whatever to perform. We're here to help the animal do what they love doing. And it is pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I got to experience it with the guide dogs. So
yeah, and I had some clients when I was really, I'd always said that I was going to stop doing private clients, although every now and then I do a few, and my old clients I do. And this was somebody that I just adored, a guide dog, a gal that had a guide dog, and I remembered when she was at the Therapeutic Riding Center where I used to talk to the horses. So to give up that client was big, but Claudia's done an amazing job and has gotten into the guide dog community as a result of it.
And it's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible to help these dogs that are helping people, and that they're fulfilling their own, that they have their own purpose around it. They're not just doing it for us, and that's something to really examine. I've known horses that would win the Olympics with a chimpanzee on their back, right? They have this spirit about it, but it is, and there's certain animals just like people that are competitive. You put 2 thoroughbreds out in the field and someone's going to win, and it's going to be the same guy each day. I know because I've had thoroughbreds my whole life, and I've had a few at a time. So, and I got one now. So he's not very competitive. He's kind of like me. It's like, you do you. But one thing I want to say about, like, Cynthia's been in the program. She's a teacher now and is now a dog trainer. But I wanted to tie back around when I originally started the ambassador program. It was really just a rescue call. I wanted to help the community. And it ended up being the same rescue over and over, and we just didn't have it organized. This is when I first moved here, 2015 or 2016. But Cynthia's dedication ended up getting her that rescue pays her now, and so and that's a big deal, right? Because rescues don't have money, but they valued her work so much, and that's where this can go, you know. And so the people that have stuck with this work and have had boundaries, which is something we really teach in the school, end up really creating an impact. I ran across a Facebook post, you know, when your memories pop up, of a dog that Cynthia's communication and EFT got this impossible dog adopted, and doesn't it live in Maine now or something? Anyway, Cynthia, if you're here, I'd love for you to share that story, because she just did amazing work, and that's what we're setting people up to do with this ambassador program, no matter whether it's, yeah. So between the two, call Shannon, or just do the big program, and you get a bunch of these for, you know, included. Yeah,
and
so.
One of the things I remember you saying is the reason we're also doing this is because we're setting it up so that we walk in the front door as animal communicators.
Yeah.
And it's the what do you call it? The partnership of animal communication, rescue, veterinary care, and training is going to empty those shelters.
Yeah, it's we have to walk into the front door. I mean, I've had so many students come in. I've been fortunate because I walk in the front door and I say, this is what I do, and if they don't like it, then they don't use it. If they do, then great. And that's why I've got so much experience in shelters and rescues. But a lot of people will say, oh, well, I felt like this animal, and I didn't, and then I did some energy work. I'm like, well, first of all, you didn't have permission. Secondly, why wouldn't you just say you do this, right? Like, let's walk in with pride and humility, like proud of what we do, not being, you know, like, oh, I can't do it. Oh, but I'm going to do it over here. I'm going to go home and work on the dog. No. We walk in the front door. We can't be, even if the scientific community isn't necessarily getting it at this point. Trust me, I have a lot of veterinarians that did. I purposely went and got veterinarians to endorse my new book because I put some science in it, and it's made it yummy for the science nerds, but it's also very straight across the board. Here's how this works. And if we walk in the door and help people walk in the front door, we have more of a chance of helping more animals than if we're secretly doing Reiki in the night on some animal that, you know, nobody's spotlighting and trying to get help to begin with, so they might not notice that there were shifts made. It's got to be noticed and measurable, and the biggest measurable thing of all is, oh, look, it got adopted and is living forever in a happy home. So, you know, but it's got to, even every increment of it has to be...
Yeah, because you're doing the animals a disservice.
Yeah.
And besides, let's take our reputation as animal communicators out of the equation. If we don't walk in the front door, then we can't link arms with the rescue. We can't link arms with the vets, with the trainers, with the whole team, which is what is needed. Right?
It takes a village.
It takes a village, exactly. So Cynthia says, I love working with dogs in rescue, helping them to find a home. Ohana in Maine now, very happy.
I want to cry. I mean, literally, that was a powerful... That dog, I think, was supposed to be euthanized. Like, these are the sorts of things that the graduates of this school are doing.
And then she says, so true, Joan, walking in the front door. Oh, she says, walking in the back door doesn't work.
Right. Yeah, because Cynthia tried.
She did. She was one of the...
She was. I mean, she's like, well, I can just... I'm like, no. No. Tell them what you do.
Yeah.
You know? And so, yeah, we have there are a lot of people that are very powerful in this program that were like, well, I can just... No. Yeah. Claudia's raising her hand, kind of.
I'm not considering myself very powerful, but I was one of those people that was afraid to say what I do, or that I even wanted to do this. But here I am.
Yeah. So blah blah blah. I really wanted to talk about self-care, and we had really originally wanted to do something outside,
It's too cold and windy out. It's not windy.
Well, it's not that cold. We live in California. I know it's freezing for us, but there are people here that are like,
Below zero?
yeah. She's got a coat on. I just turned the heat up to tropical. I did that in Seattle too, though. It is cold. I mean, I had a chilly walk.
Yeah. It's chilly.
Yeah. Well, it'll be 30 degrees tomorrow morning. It was 46 when I did my hike.
Yeah.
That's cold for us.
Us Californians.
Yeah, this is California, people. We're cold. Is anyone saying anything?
Shannon says, for the big Animal Mastery program, you get 1 round of your choice of these advanced AC Level 4 classes. Animal Ambassadorship, 10 live Zoom classes when qualified. It's valued at $2,997.
Yeah, they are. It is some good.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, and like I said, the search and rescue. Thank you to Cindy Atwood. So we've got some good. We have some good
Guests lined up.
Yeah, and help that we get to do, right?
Yeah.
And that gives us purpose. Because this world is crazy and it feels out of control, and yet it's beautiful. And it's beautiful when we feel like we can contribute to making it a better place, because there's so many pockets, whether it's, Turkey or balloons flying over, I just create my world to be as great as it can be for as long as I can pull that off, right? As long as I can make my world harmonious with my animals, and I say that because as long as I can pull it off, because right now it's every day's a new normal with my cat. Every day's a new normal. I mean, it's been since April finding a new normal with Gabrielle, but weirdly now she's eating hay. She was not eating hay for like a year. I was feeding her all these other things. She's sick, so it's like having a 35-year-old horse is like having a 19-year-old cat. You're like constantly like, well, what's this gonna do? What? Oh, no, try this. No, try this. So every day's a new normal around here, and yet we're finding balance and harmony. And my latest thing is finding that way to live with joy and sorrow simultaneously. And it's that comes back to self-care. We have to take care of ourselves in that. So I make really yummy food at night, and I experiment with recipes so that we can have that at lunch, or I love to throw a good dinner party. My aunt last night is trying to pawn off my grandmother. She's like, do you want my mother's china? And I'm like, I have to remember what. And I thought, God, between my china and my mom's china, I feed a lot of people, but the school is getting bigger. I think I'll call her back and say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anytime it's grandmother's anything, I say yes.
Okay, yeah, I will call her.
Yeah. I'm one of those though.
I am too.
I love vintage.
Look at me. I pull out the china
heirloom
any
stuff.
chance I can.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, oh, you're coming over for... If it's dinner, there's china.
Yeah.
If it's lunch...
And I can't believe you pulled out the china from my family.
Yeah, for her kids.
Oh, God.
Of course. And they were very good. They were well behaved.
We have a big announcement too, starting tomorrow.
Oh, right. Oh my God, how do I forget this? Is Becky texting you?
Yeah.
I'm so transparent. Like, I know what's...
It's really hard to keep anything from Joan, so don't ever try to surprise her, because she knows.
Yeah.
Weird.
I know, it is weird. Yeah, so as of tomorrow, I mean, like everything else, all you read about is inflation, and my costs are going up too. And so we've had to, and everyone that knows me in the old days, I've made $5 payment plans for, 60 years. So I hate raising the prices, but we have to, and it goes up tomorrow. And we've been, putting this out in the newsletter, but I should say this now. If you are interested in any of these things, please at least make the appointment with Shannon to talk about it, even if you want to do something next fall. right? If you want to do the fall intensive, if you want to do, which we sent an announcement out within the school by accident, but if you want to do the fall intensive, if you want to do fall AC level 1, if you want to do anything at the old prices, book a call with Shannon now. You won't get in before tomorrow because she's booked.
But you at least have the appointment with her
You
set
have
up.
the appointment set up,
And it
which
will honor.
makes you eligible for
The current prices.
The current pricing.
And also, the prices aren't just going up because of inflation, but because we're adding
We
much
add stuff,
more.
Yeah, I mean, I literally sit here and go, what about, could we get we should do, right, like,
I mean,
I drive people crazy.
which is why I'm an eternal student as well as work for the school, because I'm always, well, I want to take that class.
Every day. Don't I?
Yeah, so we are adding definitely
But
more
great
content. Oh, amazing stuff. More
Yeah.
content, more enrichment, more just more. And we're bringing the school, we're up-leveling the school, which we'll announce other times later down the line when we've got more concrete.
Yeah, we have some really amazing stuff about the school about to happen. But also, we are adding things because, like, I'll take some of the content from the new book, I'm pointing to it. And it will be, go into the behavior class, because in the new book, do I break down behavior?
You break down behavior okay, I'm just going to say this. I've been in this school since 2018, and reading the book has taken my, I guess, assimilation of the materials or understanding or comprehension to a whole other level. Because the way you break down behavior, it's like I've connected the dots with everything I've learned. And even if you don't do the program, even if you're just reading the book for the first time and that's your first entrance into this stuff, before it's your gateway, I should say, it is so easy to understand and broken down in a way where it's not this like abstract thing of, EFT and all that. You really get into the nitty-gritty of behavior.
Yeah, and it's not so far away, right?
Yeah.
It's not some PhD at a university. It's this and this equals this.
Yeah,
right?
That's what it is. And that, for me, was...
And the very simple emotion, look at, animals are as emotional as we are, but their emotions are much more simple than ours.
Yeah.
And so they don't complicate with, like, I was talking to Jill the other day, because Dr. Jill, who's my partner for the acupressure, and Jill and Joan CBD, I was saying no horse ever regrets not making it to the Olympics, right? They don't have regret. They don't have certain feelings that we have. And so, I mean, it's not that, they're not going to sit there and be embarrassed over something. And like a couple people commented on my Abby picture in the tutu, like, nobody wears clothes better than Abby. And they're like, oh, she looks embarrassed. I'm like, first of all, she is not embarrassed. That dog don't know embarrassment.
None.
No.
She loves wearing the tutu.
Yeah. But anyway, going back, that's a great segue about the emotions. So the emotions are different. They're not as complicated as ours are. And we pile our emotions on. And so what I really wanted to talk about today was self-care, and we were going to do a special thing outside, and we'll do it another day. But, some of the things that are self-care are meditation, taking a hot bath, yoga, exercise, taking your time for yourself. I've upped my yoga with all this going on, just because I meditate, do scalar anyway, but I kind of let the yoga come and go in the morning. But so I've been going on occasion to a class and really building that back into my life, so that I have a place to literally go breathe when the cat's face looks puffy or the horse was down again on the ground, and I have to be the one to pick everybody up. So when we're in these things, no matter what we're going through, we have to, self-care has to be the checklist that we're utilizing to create or recreate what we need to create in our household, which is hopefully harmony.
And, you know, when you're taking care of others and when you're in a career that's of being of service to others, self-care could be, and if, you know, a lot of people think self-care, oh, I don't have the time. You could sit down and have a cup of tea. You could sit down and breathe for 2 minutes. You have to.
Yeah.
It's not an option. You have to. Otherwise, you won't be able to do what you are doing. If I don't do some sort of self-care daily,
It's
can't
true.
function.
It's being of service, and then I forget because it's just so like, I have 10 animals, but I have 10 animals, right? So somebody invited me to go next Sunday night somewhere, and I'm like, well, I can either do the afternoon shift of fun or the evening shift of fun, but I kind of can't do both because someone's got to feed everybody and walk and you know, it's like that's my life is built around that, but I love that. Like I don't even think about that, but it's the reality of how I choose, you know, to spend my time. But, you know, even having 10 animals to take care of, sometimes when I'm on a work trip and I just get into a hotel, I'm like, oh my God. I do snow angels on the white sheets because there's white sheets and there aren't 19 animals in bed with me.
And it's, you don't realize how much you are doing for others until you are laying in a hotel bed on a white sheets going, wait, I don't have to get up and feed or let anybody out. Or
I don't have to walk anybody. I don't have to pick a horse up. I don't have to take a blanket off a horse. I don't have to, and the list goes on.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't
change it for the world.
Right. I love it. I love getting done with class and checking in on somebody. And yeah, I mean, we've got, everybody knows which walk it is with what leash and what shoes I put on. And
I mean, you and I were talking about this the other day, of how good it feels, like before you've even had our coffee, before we've even done anything for us, when our animals have gone out to pee and they've done their thing and now they're fed and they're just all so content.
Yeah. I include on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, I don't have that cup of coffee until after I've taken the dogs on a hike. After you know what I mean? Like, when all that is done, this is my
self-care.
Yeah, I've earned this. Yeah, but when I'm on a trip, I don't have to earn my coffee. It's awesome. Yeah, but even Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's horse time. But I do take a cup of coffee down there. But I do work out before I.
Yeah. Catherine Myers-Miller says self-care is so vital. Compassion, fatigue, and burnout are so real. And that's the other part.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we talk a lot about compassion fatigue in this work, and especially, I've been going through the materials, the whole back end of the school, and it's been interesting where compassion fatigue comes up a lot, and we have to take care of ourselves. Even as an animal communicator, I remember, you know, it seems like there would be the week of, oh, everybody has liver disease, or oh, all my clients died, or oh, all of my clients have kidney failure, or oh, like there were themes.
Or you got 3 dogs that are lost in 1 week. This is before.
Yeah, and I honestly, that's how one of the ways that Dr. Jill Todd, and I became so close was I didn't have other friends that were, you know, my students weren't up to this level yet. Now they are, but I wasn't surrounded by other people that were going through that. And so I literally would have Jill over to do, I had an older dog back then. She would come and do acupuncture once a month on a Friday, sometimes twice a month, late afternoon, and then we'd make dinner. And then if there was wine, I would call her boyfriend and say, I've taken her keys away. And then we literally would sometimes we just sat and cried. Because we had a lot of mutual clients too. We literally would just talk about everyone, and it was, we were a support for each other because there were losses or situations that were never going to get better. And I had my own. At that point, I had a dog, Isabella, who had a brain-eating parasite, and that's not what she died of, thank God, because that would have been brutal. But like, we had all sorts of weird things that we held that dog together through energy, through cold laser, through scalar, through a number of things. So compassion fatigue is huge, and having a support, like being able to talk to. Right now, the school has each other, which is so powerful.
I can't. I was just thinking of that, because for me, like, self-care is also. I have my group of friends that we've been friends since our kids were little. We all met at the Mommy and Me class, and getting to meet with them for
and
dinner or lunch.
What you were going through as mommies.
As mommies is self-care. We still continue it. 20 years later, we're still. Oh my God! I just felt really. So 20 years later, we're still doing it, but with them, it's not because they don't get it, but with them, I can't process this stuff. Yeah. But I have this tribe. I have you. I've got, students in the school. I have teachers in the school. I mean, I have really dear friends that I've never met that are in this school.
Yeah.
Right? That I love, but I've never met them in person. So it is so powerful, because that I wouldn't be able to do this work without the support system, without the self-care, and without this that we have in this community.
Yeah, it's very powerful. So that becomes part of the whole self-care. And we'll continue this next week, and
we'll do
we should look at the weather though.
Yeah, before we say anything.
Yeah. But, having self-care in place and good rituals, good habits, it helps you when you do come to that point, to the end of life with your animals. And it's very, very, very important to be able to fall back on that. Is anyone saying anything?
Yeah.
We have to let Shannon was going to come on.
Oh, okay. Another thing, just really quick, that is self-care that you taught me, that I learned in this school. Boundaries.
Oh. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to add Shannon.
Wait, is anyone saying anything?
Not yet.
Okay. Giving
them a moment. While we add Shannon, I'll give everybody a moment to say something. Let's see. Send.
Like my cat, don't tell me what to do. You're not my cat.
That's pretty appropriate right now.
Yeah.
There she is. Oh, now I need to turn you around.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, please.
I'm glad I moved my laundry out of there. You're going to turn the camera. Yeah, because you would have seen my laundry. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I'm either cold or hot. I can't decide. And it's Florida, so I know I'm not going to say how cold it is here because it'll sound silly to everyone else. So this has been a fun conversation. So yeah, thanks Becky for putting the link in there to book a call with me. And like Joan mentioned, but I know people panic, you're not going to have a call with me by tomorrow, but you can book it by tomorrow for any time in the future, not like outside of this year, but they're for classes for this year. So if you are interested in talking about your path, or how to jump into these phenomenal things that are coming up, or how you would even get to the point where you could take these advanced AC level 4 ambassadorship things that Joan and Claudia were talking about, which is so exciting, then just book a call and you can go to it, see what your dreams and hopes are. And I love doing this because I met Joan in 2004, took every class, and here I am still taking all the classes and teaching the classes. So I love to talk to people about their path. I was one of the first graduating classes in 2010. So, a few minutes ago. Not that either of us have gotten any older since then, but
no.
I was gonna grab it.
Yeah. You're wearing the same shirt, so it really was 15 minutes ago.
Oh no,
Let me see. Hold on.
that's a red shirt. This one's pink. But I also have right here. Apparently, we like the red. We're all about like we're Valentine's friends.
Oh, wait. When that was
Whoops.
right before a dolphin trip.
Yep. This is when we traveled all over Washington State and Cape Flattery and saw the dolphin pods. So,
That was a whale trip. Yeah.
Move
yep,
it over. There you go.
so this is actually pink for Valentine's Day, but this is red, but it all looks the same on here. I look like I just have the same shirt for, thousands of years, which I probably do because I actually don't shop, except for mine.
Was that picture that I have, is that from when we were both getting divorced?
Yeah, that was our Thanksgiving together,
Yeah.
and my mom came. Yep.
And you had just broken up. Were you with Eddie? You were
No, I'd broken up with Eddie. We weren't married, but yeah, it was like a divorce because we had the house, and we came and said, hey, let's spend Valentine's together. 3 super cool women.
Yeah. Here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah. So I know that you know what? It was so funny. I forgot it was Valentine's Day this morning. And every cat, so Francesca isn't laying on me like she used to, but she did lay on me for a few minutes this morning. And then Buster Keaton had to come in, and then Henry had to lay on me for a moment. And then Queen Latifah had to lay on me for a moment. So, and then while I was talking to Shannon on the phone, Queen Latifah's been just flying through the house. So now she's passed out. But yeah, I had a lovely Valentine's wake up from some cute cats.
I have a comment here.
Yes.
Heidi Evans and which is actually a really cute comment, says, a client asked how my classes were going. I said they were going well, and I felt like I now had friends weird like me.
I'm so glad that I swallowed that coffee. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. And true.
And true. Exactly.
And true.
Those who have selenite wands handy. Just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Mine's in the bathroom. My other office. My bathtub. Well, I meditated near it today, so.
Yeah, speaking of self-care, I mean, Joan taught me years ago, and I can't even imagine my life without it, is before I even step out of my bedroom, like I do what she does. I meditate, I do scale around myself. I have stretches I have to do for my hip and back, but then I come out and then I take care of all the animals, and then I do my matcha tea and a little piece of dark chocolate and breakfast after that. But I have like this whole, I mean, it's great, and it's just an absolute stake in the ground for me. Like I'm not, even if I'm traveling, I'm gonna keep the door closed and do that so I can take care of myself. So thank you for that wonderful habit.
Does anyone have any questions for Shannon? I mean, that might be a really great time for people to ask Shannon about, or you can share your self-care routines. But
that's right. Yeah. And
yes.
if you want to ask your questions privately, you can email me at info@joanranquet.com.
I heard that. Claudia's tummy. She said she wasn't hungry, and I'm like, all right, well, we didn't plan lunch anyway.
Now I'm hungry.
No, yeah.
Our lunch is our self-care daily.
Our lunches have always been ridiculous because like I said, I've been trying. So the last few nights I've been trying different things with the lentils. So Thursday we're gonna have a lentil lunch.
Okay. I've been doing that vegan bone broth that has been. I didn't realize it was going to be so like it's just hot before I go to bed, and I sit and I drink it, and then it's inside and outside yumminess, right?
Wow.
Yeah, it's vegan. It's called bone broth. But my point, and it's either that or tea, right? Yeah. But our lunches are like, my husband laughs now. He's like, "What are you guys planning for lunch today?" You'll look in my little bag.
Yeah, we have some good lunches.
Yeah. I'm waiting to see. I'm not getting the comments on here, so I don't know if comments are going up.
I don't think anybody has anything to say.
Oh.
All right. No self-care, no questions.
Shannon, maybe you could talk about why you love that we're finally doing. I mean, I'd wanted to do more advanced work with the death and dying, but maybe you could share Oh.
That's why. Whoops. That guy. That guy is
Hmm.
why. That's Smooch. Smooch. And oh my God, I got Smooch. We found each other on Valentine's Day. I was sick. I had lost my other dog and was just in a grief-stricken, I don't even know what. Thank goodness the guy that was running the company I was managing, he didn't he didn't care about people's kids, but he's like, your dog died? Oh my God, take 2 weeks off work. So I did, and I came back to work. Then I got sick, and I left early, and I went to PetSmart, and he was there, and they said, oh, he's a what did they said, a lab Dalmatian mix. And I'm like, oh, well, his feet are really huge. And they're like, no, that's what he is. I'm like, what's his name? And she goes, I don't know. We just call him Smooch. So I was laughing and I said, who doesn't want a smooch for Valentine's? And so I never changed his name because it was like, that was just perfect. I'm sick and I came home with a smooch on Valentine's Day.
I've never
And,
heard that story. That's
I love
awesome.
that. Oh,
isn't that cute? And he grew 5 pounds a week, and my vet's like, he's not lab Dalmatian. He is Great Dane and Rottweiler. A little bit different, just a little bit, just a little bit. So yeah, he was one of my soulmate animals, and we went through a lot together, a lot of moves, a lot of my car accident, all kinds of things. So he was really really special, and we moved out here to Sacred Acres and had 14. He was happy, and I told him, I said, oh, you'll never have to leave here. And then I started acquiring horses, and that's when I met Joan. Thank goodness, the universe lined us up. And probably 2 years after that, because that was 2004, yeah. So 2006, I had been taking classes, and she was teaching me all this fun energy healing stuff that I was sucking it all in like a sponge. And he got really acutely ill, and he went into kidney failure. So I drove him to the late night emergency vet, which said take him to your vet. Well, my vet was back in Brevard. Anyway, it was a whole thing. My mom came over. Joan gave us some energy tips or tricks to try on him because the vet said if he doesn't go in the catheter, he's done. And we put our hands on him and we would just do the energy tools, and he would pee in the catheter. So I was like, wow, mind blowing. Okay, now I need to take every energy class there is. Um, and it really gave me a lot of hope, right? That this could turn around. Um, Unfortunately, it didn't. I took him to a specialist after I took him there and dropped him off. And I've never left him anywhere. I've never boarded him except for one time. I did a board and train when I went to Europe. I never boarded him ever again. And so he was never without me. I worked from home, and I left him there, and I just felt so awful leaving him there. So I came back and I brought some great flower essence sprays that Jim told me about because he was nervous, and I had a conversation with him, and I told the vet what I told him. I said, I do animal communication. She was like, well, first she tried to tell me I couldn't use the spray, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not asking. um, I'm sorry that we're confused there, but he's getting the spray. So yeah, and then I told her, and she was like, okay. I think she kind of thought I was a little kooky, but people do kooky things when they're leaving their animals. And Joan had offered to work on him to do scalar energy healing on him. And you guys are going to get to read, well, if you have her book, Communication with All Life, Revelations of an Animal Communicator. Mine's over there, but it's the European copy, so I don't want to confuse people with the book cover. That book is amazing, and Smooch and I may happen to be on like page 224 or something like that. But she was working on him, and I got home and I got a call from her and a call from the vet. I took the call from the vet because that one actually came in first, and she was crying and said that he must have listened to me and she's sorry. She thought she could do more, and I was like in shock because I kind of knew that when I talked to him, but I really was, you're always hoping for a miracle. I was really praying for a miracle because we'd had some. But then I called Joan, and she told me that every time she was working on the chakras and trying to spin them and pick the colors, it was just this gorgeous white light reflecting back. And so I had to learn the lesson of, even if we do this work to help the people and the animals, it may not be helping them to heal, but it helped him have a very peaceful crossing over. And he was with me for 2 weeks. I could feel him here. So I didn't fall apart as much as everybody thought I would for that minute, because it's just like he knew. I mean, I had so many visible signs. So I really believed in that we can still connect with him afterwards. And it's just that whole process of Joan being there for me and helping, me knowing that my dog wasn't alone, right? Like that was the worst for me. So that gift, and the gift of being able to talk to him, and the gift of being able to know, like, mediumship, that he was here, just forever changed me. And it's a lot of the business that I do now with clients, the stage where they maybe get a diagnosis or find something out, all the way through and after. So I'm just so excited that Joan has developed out this part of the school, and that I get to be a part of it, because it's just really near and dear to my heart on Valentine's Day. So thanks so much for joining us on a Valentine's Day live. And thank you, Joan, for that gift, all the gifts, and for teaching me how to share it with others. So this is such a special school. I love all of you.
Claudia's not crying.
No,
Neither is Joan.
no, I'm not either. It's my eyes.
I did not know that you got smooch on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it makes
Wow.
it extra special.
I will say that is one of my favorite stories in the book, is the smooch story.
Thank you.
So.
Yeah, it is a great. I mean, it's sad. It's always sad, and it's also empowering, and it also, really brings to light that we. One thing that, not only was he comforted, he had a comfortable passing, but we don't know that the healing work might have done something for his karma in his next life, right? So we keep doing it anyway. And also that you had enough little miracles. That's how I felt, even though I lost Pet One and Pony Boy. I got scared because I didn't have a community, and I backed away from it. But even losing those two, all the energy healing I did gave me faith and hope in doing that work. And I even say this about my sister. When my sister died and my parents just laughed out loud at me bringing home all these energy books in 1986, and we never tried any of it, I never lost faith in the fact that that would probably be better than a lot of the Western medicine, as far as even just giving hope and having an easier passing. I mean, she did have a beautiful death, but which is always a weird thing to say. Oh yeah, it was a beautiful death. Oh no, this was more beautiful. But anyway, that's what really put me into this wanting to help people, and I helped a lot of people with AIDS back in the day. But being able to be there for animals and help them in this crossing and help the people, we don't even know how much the energy healing is actually helping them let go of karma here, so that their next life is lighter. You know what I mean? So it's like, I will never not do this work on somebody, even if it's the day they're going to die, because it is like, and the ease that they go into that that next, whether it's a veterinarian coming over and all of that. So I can see that on the clock at Shannon's house that we're probably just about
time to go.
On that note.
Yeah. So.
And Smooth says, "Happy Valentine's Day to all."
I got to meet Smooch, so
yes, yay.
All right. Well, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Make sure that before tomorrow you book your call with Shannon. Even if you want to do something in 2024, she'll take a deposit for that. Like, literally, hold the phone, grab.
Hold your horses.
Yeah, hold your horses. Hold on. Hold your coffee.
That's right.
Book a call. So anyway, make sure you book your call before tomorrow so that you get the discount.
All right.
Did you see what I just did old school, like we had phones?
Call Shannon.
Bye.